And we are recording, Mr. Mao,
I'm ready.
with your super cool big gay microphone. I just love how the lights change on it, which is such an unnecessary feature for a microphone, yet it's so fucking cool.
That's why I bought it. That's what drew me to it. Because it's a rainbow. Richie Bib, boy.
Like, it's so fucking random, but like whenever we record now, I can't stop looking at the goddamn microphone. So, anyways, great product idea, random mic maker. We're gonna do this in 3, 2, 1.
What are you doing?
Testes in my mouth.
Get on the ground, you fucking pledge!
Ew.
Welcome to the greatest podcast experience of your life. This is the FratChat Podcast.
All young men like 3 things. Food, news, pussy.
Featuring Carlos Garcia and Chris Moore.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting time. It's the FratChat Podcast. I'm Carlos Garcia with Chris Moore. How's it going, Mr. Man?
What's up, man? You know, if I touch the top here, it turns the light off.
Pretty sure you just turned off your whole mic. No, turn it on, you idiot.
Oh, does that mute it?
Your entire microphone, you moron.
Oh, I thought it just turned the light off.
It just went to complete silence.
Oh, well.
Oh man, we're starting off strong.
Did you see the news about that guy who shot the United Healthcare CEO?
You mean Luigi Mangione, who killed the CEO, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson?
I'm just gonna say that I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon because I don't think people deserve to get shot like in point blank range. That's horrible. Like the guy's a family. Like it's like I don't support murder. However, I'm so attracted to Luigi. It's crazy. I was looking through pictures like, oh, what? Woo, he's a murderer. Oh my gosh. If I was on a date with him and he was like, so I have a past, like I kill people, I'd be like, that's okay.
I mean, he is literally like the body definition of every Hollywood hitman that they always idolize. The funny thing is that the night of the murder, I guess maybe he got, his some manicure, pedicure, everything done because someone zoomed in on his unibrow now versus the night of the murder. The night of murder was nothing there. And now it's like super hairy. So they're like, it's not the same guy. He's innocent. He didn't do it. But no, that dude has like a 19 pack, which is very true. And he came from like a good family, and it's interesting. I don't know if you know this. He grew up in Towson.
Yeah.
Went to college, which is wild.
And I think he went to Harvard or some Ivy League school.
I don't remember where he actually went. Once it said Towson, I was like, fight on, Tyson Tigers, which is not even the fight song anymore. But we needed someone famous to come out of there. So I'm just going to claim it for the school because we had, the Dirty Jobs guy and Stacy Keebler. And then after that, it kind of went quiet. And then the school got that racist white student union.
Oh, God.
Remember that?
I claim the fame.
That's kind of where I last remember.
Michael Phelps is from Towson.
That's true. We got Michael Phelps. That's true. Very true. So there you go. We got Michael Phelps and the sexy shooter kid.
So the sexy shooter kid ate at McDonald's, and I wonder if that's gonna help McDonald's business.
Actually, I'm glad that you bring this up because I have a news story just for this video occasion, Mr. Mao. Because the simple answer is no.
No,
it didn't just not help them, but the Let me. I gotta get us ready. Because Jimmy's not here. I gave him the holidays off. You know,
Do you
I have to
think
ship him back
do you think
home.
Burger King's like, we have a breakfast of champions. McDonald's has a breakfast of murderers, but that's between you and them.
Well, because as we talk about the Altoona, Pennsylvania McDonald's restaurant that Luigi Mangione, the suspect charged in the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's killing, visited after the shooting, has been flooded with negative reviews since his arrest. The low ratings poured in after it was reported that a restaurant employee told police that Mangione had been spotted there. A shout out to CBS News for the story. And Google got so many reviews that they since started removing the reviews because they violate the company's policies. A spokesman for Google told CBS News. Content that is not based on a real experience and does not accurately represent the location or product in question is prohibited by the search giant. But by late Tuesday morning, at least a couple negative reviews that did not appear to come from genuine customers lingered online, such as, I saw rats scurrying around in the kitchen there. Stay away. The red one, which, home of rats. Another one said, more like McDonald's. I hope obesity and heart disease are a network in PA to not defend the post diarrhea at McDonald's. Another one. Let's see. And Altoona police found a handwritten note in a backpack belonging to Mangione after speaking to the Altoona Police Department. New York Police Department Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenny said the document seems to indicate Mangione has some ill will towards corporate America. Thompson's killing has unleashed a torrent of vitriol in the insurance industry, with United Healthcare customers taking to social media to attack the company's practices and the industry as a whole. And they put out a quote saying, we've gotten to a point where healthcare is so inaccessible and unaffordable that people are justified in their frustrations, said by Dr. Celine Gounder, CBS News medical contributor and editor at large for public health at KFF Health News. She told CBS Morning about the public's voicing its frustrations. Now, the whole thing is that in recent years, health insurance costs have risen even faster than the red hot rate of inflation in the U.S., adding to the strain of household budgets, while many Americans express anger at their health claims being denied, usually for bullshit reasons. In 2024, the average healthcare insurance premium for families carried a price tag of $25,572 per year, which is goddamn, while single workers paid an average of $8,951, representing a 6% and 7% increase from the year earlier. Since 2000, the rise in healthcare premiums has outpaced inflation for all but a handful of years. About 81% of Americans last year said they were dissatisfied with the cost of healthcare in the U.S., a 16-year high as well. So yeah, I think we can all agree that the fucking system is broken. But how do you feel about it? Do you think the McDonald's person should have narked the guy, the shooter?
Yes, I do. I do because
Luigi.
Luigi, as sexy as you are, baby boy, Luigi, you're unhinged. And if you're capable of shooting someone in broad daylight, like what else are you capable of doing? Like that's scary, you know?
And he had like a manifesto. Apparently, he was really into the Unabomber, which is,
Oh no.
and I'm not gonna lie, at least the Unabomber was ugly as shit. This guy is super handsome, and he does seem to have the support of the people. So maybe that's the secret. You just got to be sexy when you commit your murders.
But I thought to myself, like, what does he think is gonna what ha what was the desired result from shooting someone? They're gonna replace him. And
Yeah,
the system's still rigged. So, like, it would have
totally.
made more sense. Like, he is a bright, good-looking guy. He could have gone into politics with that face for sure. You know what I mean? And like, he could have
Mm-hmm.
done some major change. Start with like local government and work your way up.
You could
Or
at least give him some hand jobs at the RNC with that body. You know what I mean? Just
yeah, dude.
he would have helped Crash Grinder down there. Bo show again. Uh, yeah, I agree. Now here's the thing. In some ways, what he planned to do is kind of succeeding because here we are talking about the reasons why he's killing this person. And, it has set off a larger conversation in America about how bullshit this company in particular is, but also the healthcare system as a whole. So, in a weird way, even though it's terrorism, he did accomplish what he was looking to do. And sure, he'll go away for the rest of his life, but I think he was ready to take that risk based on his weird manifesto.
Did
I
your
don't
mom
think he gives a
call
fuck.
you and say, "Are you okay?" when she saw the news? Everything okay up there?
No, no, no. I mean, she knew, like that. Obviously, with New York, shit happens, but it seemed like it was an isolated incident. But we've
My
been
mom
like sharing like private detective work. Like we're looking into the case. Like, is it the same guy? Is he right? We just keep going back and forth. Was your mom worried?
Oh, she was so worried. She called me. She's like, "Is everything okay up
Ah,
there?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Mommy, I'm not a billionaire CEO guy, so I'm like, I don't think I have anything to worry about." I was like,
yeah.
and a lot of times when a lot of shootings happen in New York, like sometimes they're gang related. I'm not in a gang. I'm not in like drug distribution, so I feel pretty good. But I do think it's crazy that he's able to shoot someone in the broad daylight and like no one said anything.
That's right in New York, though.
That
And
is
he
New
also
York.
had a
People
silencer
mind their
on his gun.
business in New York.
But he had a silencer on his gun. So unless like there was that person who was right next to him, who I guarantee was not going to scream because they were trying to save their own lives. Other than that, unless you're right there, you wouldn't have heard it. It basically was like, which with all the noise in New York, it doesn't. You got nothing.
I was on the train the other day. There's some crazy guy, and like he was just like in everyone's face saying weird stuff, and no one said anything. He never got to me. I thought to myself, if he gets to me, I'm gonna push him. I don't want people in my space like that. Like I'm a
Ugh.
little bit more combative, I think. But I thought to
Yeah,
myself, like these big guys down there aren't gonna step up and say something on behalf of these little guys that can't defend themselves. But yeah, New Yorkers, they don't really say a whole lot. They kind of just keep to themselves for the most part.
totally. Now I feel like if the guy started actually swinging, people would have jumped on him. But I think in New York, there's a tolerance for the crazy and the weird because there's so much of it that if you tried to interject every time you saw some weirdo doing some shit like that, you get into fights every day. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's just there's like so many weirdos. There's so many people in New York City that one out of 10,000 is a weirdo, but there's millions and millions of people here. You know what I mean? So on your way to work, you're sitting on the train and there's a fucking random guy over there licking his armpits for some reason. it's like
Yeah.
it's like, oh great.
You know,
Ah! You want some? No,
this
no.
this Luigi guy also started kind of a fashion trend. People are like, I want to wear what he's wearing in
I know.
solidarity.
And his social media has like skyrocketed for some reason. His following. It's like I don't know what he's not gonna be posting anything on Instagram anytime soon.
He's also not gonna be tweezing his eyebrows anytime soon. So when it's ready for that court date, he's gonna have a huge unibrow.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very interested for that court case. I hope it's broadcast live because hearing him talk, he's definitely a smart kid. And like he was getting jailed away, and then he's like started screaming how it's an injustice to an insult to the American people or whatever. He's clearly a well-spoken kid, so he clearly in some way he thinks that what he's doing is very right and for a very right cause. So I'm very curious to hear him articulate it because I don't think he's going to be that type of guy based on how much he's trying to say right now and based on the crime that's just going to sit in the courtroom and not say anything. I think he's going to make it a spectacle, and I think he's going to try to get his message across, his manifesto during the court case. Even though he's a young kid, he's like 26, but I don't know. Something just tells me he's going to make a show out of this. And we'll see. We'll see
Well,
what
I
happens.
will watch his show. I'll watch anything he wants to do. Any performance, I'm ready.
Yeah,
Just
he'll come
take
out shirtless.
I was gonna say, just take your shirt off, and you have my full and utter attention.
And the jury will be like, "Oh my god, he's too dreamy. I can't hear the evidence. He must be innocent." I can see it. Honestly, sexy people tend to get acquitted more than ugly people. I feel like. No,
Who
I'm lying. That
knows?
can't be true. But I've seen it. Like Casey Anthony. Not that she's super sexy, but she's at least like a crazy Florida 7. You know,
Who's that?
remember Casey Anthony? She's the one that killed her kid, drowned the kid in her pool, and then I think said the kid was kidnapped or something like that. But then they ended up finding the body. But she got acquitted,
She
and now
did?
she
Why is she gonna quit if she drowned her kid?
yeah, it's like a whole thing. People are like, "What the fuck?" But
Oh
and now she's
no.
back into the world. She got like a charge for like child neglect or something. I think she spent a little jail time, but not like murder. Uh, and she's back out in the public doing her thing, being weird.
I wonder what her online dating profile says.
Yeah, right. Loves kids unless they get too close.
Oh god. Yeah.
Oh boy. Anyways, Mr. Mo, we are celebrating our last recorded episode of the year and the season. For the next 1 or 2 episodes, we'll do a little best of edition for you guys, and then we'll be taking a little break. So this is the last edition of the year, of the season, of comedians roast each other for 60 seconds. So let's put our money where our mouth is. And my mouth is on Simo's mom. So let's do this. We're gonna do this. And by the way, this time I feel like I always go first. So I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, go. You can take the first one if you want. It's because I'm nice.
Okay.
Unless you want me to go first. What makes you feel comfortable, sir?
I say we'll wing it. If
Okay.
you feel inspired to cut me down ruthlessly, whatever makes your heart smile, you go for it.
That feels nice. Okay. We're gonna do this in 3. So
so, so what is on your Christmas list?
nothing in particular, just family, good times.
Maybe
Why?
you can ask Santa for a neck.
Oh my God! Speaking of, has that told you look just like Ryan Reynolds?
No.
As seen in Deadpool. Yeah, just like him in Deadpool. Super
Bef-
disfigured Ryan Reynolds,
before
but it's still
after
Ryan Reynolds.
before after my reconstructive surgery.
Yeah, just
Both?
like his reconstructive surgery.
Yeah, but I got that body yaddy yaddy yaddy.
No, but seriously, has anyone that people do tell me that you look just like Jake Gyllenhaal? I see him Bubble Boy though, just with the hair and
Bubble Boy? Is that a real movie?
that is absolutely a real movie. You can Google that in your spare time. I know it'll take you like 40 minutes to do it. It's comedians roasting each other for 60 seconds.
Wait, so
Wow,
Bubble
time
Boy is
flies
a real
by.
movie? I'm gonna
Bubble Boy,
Google
yeah.
this.
And it's actually a really funny movie. I'm actually was thinking about it today because I want to watch it. He's like he is born and he is like immunocompromised, so he has no immunities whatsoever. So he has to basically live in a bubble his whole life. Um, and if you like sneezed on him, for example, he would fucking die. It's like that bad. So he ends up basically a girl across the street moves over moves in. It's about his age. She's like super hot, falls in love, and yada yada yada. She ends up moving across town to marry the wrong guy, and he like makes like his own bubble suit to go get her. And he's trying to get the girl. So with hilarity ensuing because he's never been out into the real world. And Jake
I've never
Gyllenhaal
been
was
outside.
he's hilarious though, and it's got people like Danny Trejo in it. It's a really good movie. Very quotable once you've seen it too. So check it out, Bubble Boy. If you haven't seen it, I think it was his first movie, or maybe it came after Donnie Darko. I can't remember, but he was like real young in that. And then he became like a heartthrob. So for me, it was tough to move past the Bubble Boy look.
He came into my shop one time. I wasn't there, but everyone said that he was very nice. We get a lot of celebrity
Oh,
clients, and most of them are not nice. But Jake Gyllenhaal passed the test.
nice. I hear good things about him too, just from the general public. Uh, Another one who's supposed to be very nice is Keanu Reeves, which
Oh yeah.
he's just a godsend of a human. But yeah, sometimes they say never meet your heroes. Well, this is Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's another one. When he can get those abs very washboardy when he wants. Like I recently saw the Roadhouse remake with him in it.
Oh, I
I
saw
mean, good
that.
lord, he was very ripped up in that.
Oh
And he
gosh,
did
she looks
another one where he
amazing.
was a boxer, where he was also jacked. So good for him. Good for him, Jake.
Whatever happened to James Franco? I used to have such a crush on him, but you know what? I have a friend that did an acting class
Oh,
with
he got
him,
canceled.
and said that he smelled like pee.
Well, speaking of acting class is exactly why he got canceled. He had his own study or like studio or whatever, and he would like have these women actors come in and do like super sexual scenes with him. Be like, oh yeah, these are exercises. Just take off your clothes and make out with me.
Ugh.
Super problematic stuff, super horrible, awful stuff. And obviously, at the time, these girls are like being like, "Oh my god, he's James Franco. Obviously, he wouldn't do anything wrong." But eventually, once the realization set in that what he was doing was not industry standard whatsoever, the shit came out, and started getting sued and shit. Oh, now no one wants to work with him. But I do think he never was charged with anything or anything like that. So I do think eventually he'll come back to for something. But even like Seth Rogen didn't want to hang out with him anymore.
Oh wow, because they were buddy
And they
buddy.
were like, yeah, they were buddies. They made like
You
3
know
movies
what?
together.
If James Franco gave me a scene and said we had to make out, I would be so down. But if he smelled like pee, I would feel so disappointed. I waited my whole life for this, and you
So
smell
that's
like
what you're driving
pee pee.
the smelly pee. Is that why you couldn't do the R. Kelly videos?
I couldn't do it. Drip, drip, drip. No, thanks.
see, see what could have been a star. Oh man, you just couldn't pass the eye test or the nose test. But anyways, Mr. Mo, it is time to get to it because, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the last episode of the season, the last live episode. The next couple weeks, you guys can stay tuned for a best of, which will feature the funniest moments of the season, the greatest moments. You can send it to a friend. If you want to get the friend to a show, this is the best way to catch up. It's a nice little clip show. It'll be cool. So yeah. With that being said, we have a little tradition here at the FratChat Podcast, where at the end of the year, we come face to face with ourselves. We take a look at the man in the mirror. That's right, you do. And we ask him to change his ways. Because we're here to say sorry.
I asked him for
Because we said some
$5.
things. That buys you a little bit of Jesus juice. All right, Michael, you were ruining the intro. Yeah, we're here to say we're sorry. Because we know we said some things all year long, all season long here at the FratChat Podcast. And we're man enough to know that you got to own up for the shit you say. And we have to apologize. And no, we've said a lot, so we can't apologize for all of it. So we're going to pick the top 10 most things that we need to apologize for. So, get ready, people. We don't do this often. We save this for this very special edition. Just to say sorry. Because other than that, we never apologize. You hear that, Grandma? I'm never going to apologize. Bitch. But anyways, while Simo looks like he's blowing Casper the Friendly Ghost over there.
Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty hungover. We had a company party last night.
We're gonna get to this. So, Mr. Mouse, so you went to the bar, huh?
I went
That's
to
what
the
happened.
company party and I drank my salary proudly. And we're recording at this point. It's about 8:00 p.m. and I'm still hungover.
And then he yawned, so I got me to yawn because that shit's contagious. Now we might just go back and forth the whole episode.
Yeah,
So thank you.
you're welcome.
But anyways, I have a bonus one that I gotta get off my chest. That's because he's a great friend of ours and of the show. And he's also been a guest co-host several times. In fact, we call him often to the show in our time of need. However, when he does come on, we proceed to shit on him for being short. And mostly for being from Florida. That's Ron Prendemano,
Gross.
Mr. Mo, comedian, a friend of the show. And being from Florida is kind of like having a disability. You know what I mean? You just can't help it. And for that, I'd like to say we're sorry. And I'm going to say it slowly because he's from Florida. Sorry, Ron. But yeah, I just, the little guy, he's so great to us. Just want to pick him up and give him a big old hug,
I just want to pick him up, put him on a chair, have him stand on it so I can look him in the face and have a conversation.
See, I feel like he should really stand up for himself. But the problem is he'd be 3 inches shorter if he got off the chair. So then, that's not going to.
When last time you hung out, we were sitting down at a table and I could barely see him over the table. I felt horrible. I was like, I know I hear him. I know he's here. I just can't find him.
Oh, Ronald. But we love you. You are our bonus apology. And I'm sure we'll have him back on the show next season. So shout out Ronnie.
You're the one that got away. That's all I'm going to say. I love you.
That's right. That's right. Anyhow, why don't you start us off with the top 10, Mr. Mo?
Okay, so my company, we've gone through a few HR directors, but there was one in particular who definitely.
Oh my God, I just remembered. I see your title and I was like, what is he talking about? Now I totally remember. Yeah, you should definitely apologize for that.
She's a little bit larger. And when I packed up her desk, I was excited to see her go. And I packed up her desk and she had a lot of snacks. And and we shared a desk. So the days I was there, I was use her desk, and then the days I was not there, she'd be there. Anyway, I kind of like spread this rumor about her like eating a lot of snacks because the keyboard was always sticky, and the keys didn't retract. So I was like, freaking so and so, always eating her snacks and getting her sticky fingers over my keyboard. I even told the guy at finance to order me a new keyboard because I blamed her for it. I said she got all sticky, but really, what really happens? I spilled a Monster drink on it.
No.
But when I told everyone that she had sticky fingers from her sticky snacks, everyone was like, "Yeah, that checks out."
Oh my God!
It was funny. I went with it, but sorry if you're out there, you can hear me. I don't know where you are. I'm assuming you're probably in the unemployment line, but wherever you are, Um, what was? There she is. So actually, okay. So she one time approached me because I was doing a lot of pranks with poop at
No,
work.
are you serious? At
With
work?
with fake poop.
Yeah,
And
but why?
and someone complained to her about it, and she said, "I need to talk to you about um uh a situation
About your shit.
revolving poop." And I said, "Oh my god, it, was it mine?" And she's like, "I don't know, was it?" And I was like, "Well, can you describe this alleged turd?"
No,
And she's
no.
like, "Be serious." I was like, "I am being serious. I am being serious. I need you to understand that first of all, everybody poops.
No.
Everybody poops, and I would gladly take ownership of one of my dungs if you can successfully describe it, and I'll claim it." She's like, "This is uncomfortable to talk about." I said, "You, I'm uncomfortable that my HR director is questioning my poopy." Like, so what happened? But anyway, she did not like me. I didn't care for her either.
To be fair, I don't know who the fuck else decides it's cool to bring fake poop to work, man. What the fuck?
I
Who does
when I
that?
when I open up new shops, I leave a fake turd behind, and then everyone looks for it.
No. Especially in New York City, man. People think that shit's real.
I
I'm traumatized.
I one time one of my shops requested an
Oh, man.
exterminator because they thought that there was like an animal in the shop. And then
No.
I was like, "I'll take it from here." And I called them. I was like, "I swear it's fake. It's a good fake, but you can just pick it up and like regift it. There's no exterminator needed. There's no raccoon in your shop." They didn't know what
Oh
it
my
was.
god. Oh my god. What if like you can pick it up and regift it and you forgot that you actually picked up the fake poop? They're like, oh no.
There's a picture of me on Instagram where I put the fake poop on a bench on a ferry, the ferry that goes to Fire Island. All these like fancy gays. And I laid down on the bench and I had my face like this far from the turd, hoping that someone would say something. And that one person said, "Hey, by the way, watch out, like you almost face planted in the poop." Instead, everyone just took pictures. They all took pictures and they're all giggling. And that one person was like, "Hey man, like you're so close to touching poo poo."
At
And
the
then
same
also,
time.
my friend Lauren and I went to this spa, and I had this turd that floats, and so we were in this like huge hot tub with other people with this floating poop. She said, "Chris, watch out!" I said, "Oh my God, is it mine? Is it one? Is it mine?" People were like, "Oh, sorry guys, I had Indian last night." I just think poop is so funny. And my mom's asked me to stop talking about it, but I can't help it.
Oh my god.
I just love
Oh
poop. I
god.
love it.
Oh man. I think I'm broken inside.
You know, last year, remember when
Oh
I
shit.
saw a dirty diaper flying in the wind and I was like, "Okay, new fear unlocked." But I remember thinking to myself, like, if I saw someone get face planted with the poopy diaper, that would be all I needed in life. I could die happy.
Oh no,
That would be
dude.
so funny to me.
I saw a video of this old lady in a zoo.
Oh,
She's in a wheelchair.
I know what you're talking about.
The monkey throws the feces and it hits her in the face.
It's
It
like hanging off her
goes on
nose.
her nose. Oh my god. And everybody's he's horrified. And just the camera just happens to turn to the last second. Oh my god.
You
Oh
know what
my
I think would
god.
be a really funny prank is if we were at the beach on a windy day and we had a fake baby and we're changing the baby's diaper and we had rigged the diaper to be full of like Nutella or something, and
Oh
then
god.
we let it fly out of our hands and fly towards a busy crowd. That would be so funny, wouldn't it? Especially at the gay
Oh my
beach.
god. That actually would be fantastic if you could figure out a way to get the wind blowing so the diaper would go, or it's on a string or something. Something happens, or it just gets zooted.
That would be so funny.
Or like I don't know if birds can eat Nutella, but something that looks like poop that birds can eat. And so the birds come and pick up the diaper and fly off with it and drop it in someone. I'm so sorry. My baby's diaper. Oh god, that's fantastic. Okay.
I love
Well,
poop. What's
we
first
got
up on your
poop.
list?
Uh we're gonna go from poop to the former president of the United States, George W. Bush, for making fun of his intelligence and airing some of the funniest dumb things he's ever said, such as, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, well, you just can't get fooled again. Or, one of the great things about books is sometimes there's some fantastic pictures in them. or my favorite, it's come to my attention that air pollution is polluting the air.
I
So,
liked he said one time, like, "It's so great to be in the great state of Chicago," and I was like, "Ooh, I don't know."
he just, I mean, to be fair, I do think that he totally sets himself up for that shit, you know? Like he was president of the United States and saying some of that shit. But he was also president during one of the most difficult times in American history. And even though it's very demonstrably easy to see that the country was much better off after he left office, we should totally respect him for the shit he had to deal with. He had to deal with 9/11, people. For that alone, he deserves respect. Plus, I like him. Now that he's not president anymore, I totally hang out with him. He likes to paint and shit. I could put on some records. We could smoke a doobie. He could paint some shit. It'd be fucking awesome. And then we could hang out with Simo. Be like, come here, Simo, you little gay boy.
Yeah.
It'll be great. I feel like he's like a cool ass dude, but just not the best president, we can argue. But for calling you dumb, by making fun of you and certain dumb things you say, I'm sorry, Mr. President. I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
W.
To be fair, you make Trump look like a fucking, or Trump makes you look like a fucking rocket science. You know what I mean? Like George Bush never tried to look into directly into the sun during a solar eclipse.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
He said some things, but he never suggested nuking a fucking hurricane to stop it. So
He
uh,
he also never used the word hamburger.
that's right. And he looks like someone who used the word hamburger, but nope, he he
I
didn't.
would bet money that George W. owns a John Deere belt buckle.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like he's wearing one right now. Actually,
He might. He might be.
he's probably getting ready for bed too. He's in his pajamas and he's still wearing it.
What's
That's what
his
kind of
wife's
man
name?
he is.
Nancy Bush?
No, Laura.
Laura Bush?
I think so.
Um, maybe Laura Bush has the John Deere belt buckle in her mouth right now.
Oh, I like that.
She looks like she could ride the D train all the way to town. Okay, so next on my list is not a president. It's actually my first puppy growing up. And I just
Oh,
feel like I need to get this off my chest because it hasn't sat well with me. But When I was younger, I would always I was like obsessed with slime because I grew up in the age of
And now he's
Nickelodeon.
obsessed with poop, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It tracks. Go on.
I used to take my shit out of my diaper and finger paint with it, and like it's
No,
art.
are
No,
you serious?
no, I'm kidding. I know. No.
Oh
But
god.
I always had slime. I would go to like gumball machines because like I feel like when I was younger, I would beg my parents, like, can I please have a quarter? I had to get something out of the gumball machine. I was always hoping to get like a sticky hand on a string or like or like slime or
That's sweet
gack
though.
or
You can
putty.
slap them against the wall.
Yeah. And so I remember I had this like ooey gooey slime of some sort, and I spilled it on my grandma's like Persian rug, and I blamed it on the dog. But
No.
I didn't think in like her like pure wrath that she would beat the shit out of the dog. So this little Shih Tzu, she shoved this Shih Tzu's face in the slime stain, and then spanked the hell out of it, and I felt so bad. And actually, I don't know if I spilled it or my sister spilled it now that I think of it. And I think that I was like, don't worry about it. I'll blame the dog. It's all good. Like, we're not gonna get our ass beat today. And the dog did, and the dog, I swear, like looked at me like, really?
No.
It's like,
Like you fucking asshole. How could you? Simo, Simo,
yeah.
Simo.
I feel really bad about that.
I think that dog is the reason you shit yourself everywhere you go. Just
But
letting you
but think of
know.
it this way.
It cursed you.
You had a dog growing up, right? You always had like a Cocker Spaniel,
Yeah,
Sunshine.
yeah. I had a cock. I've had a few dogs in my day.
So it's so easy to blame the dogs for anything. Any stain, any spill, it's
Yeah, if
oh
you're an
the dog.
asshole. If you're a monster, I would never ever blame the dog for anything, especially because I know my dad would whoop my ass, but then my dad would definitely have whooped the dog's ass, and I'm
Are
not
you
trying to
are you
fucking
telling me you've never blamed your dog for a spill?
never, never, especially, and my mom would never believe me either. Even if it was the dog, they still would have been like somehow found a way to make it my fault. It's like I should have stopped the dog from spilling it, somehow because I can catch cereal with my fucking hands. Like it would have been somehow twisted into being my fault. So I would have definitely taken the ass weapon regardless. But no, I'm not gonna do that to my dog. You hear that? Oh, I thought Stella was here. You hear that, Stella? I would never do that to you. You monster. I hope
Um,
that dog haunts you.
when I was teaching acting classes, I remember one of my students threw um a Stanley Cup sort of thing at another student, and the parent was like, how did you let that happen? I was like, wait, what? Like, how did you let that happen? Why would you let that happen? Like, what were you doing when this kid threw this to this other kid? And I was like, what? Blaming me?
Yeah,
What?
right? Are you
Kidding
gonna
me?
stop it? Are you gonna dive in front of it like, like the bodyguard? What the fuck? It's like your son just stood up and punched him.
Man, but
Sorry.
we're just living in a culture of blame game.
Yeah, and they love blaming the parents. People love blaming the teachers when it's their fucking dumbass kid. Like I see so many dumbass parents with dumbass kids who are just like, yeah, it's the teacher's fault. It's like, no, dude, it's because your son's a dick,
Yeah.
and you're not helping matters by blaming the teacher and making them think that it's not them. Like, goddamn, dude.
They're like, my Johnny Joe could never.
Yeah,
I think he could. I think he probably got
yep,
that from his daddy.
yep, yep.
Anywho, what's next on yours?
Up next on my list, speaking of people with pasts, I'm going to talk about Lindsay Lohan. I'm sorry, Lindsay, for making fun of your atrocious dance moves.
Oh, bad,
Yeah,
bad.
I was speaking about her rap sheet in her younger days. And just because she had a history of crime during those days does not mean we should have mentioned the crime that was those dance moves live on air. That's just kicking a woman when she was down. And I'm sorry. But to be fair, they were fucking awful. Like, good lord. Like, what were you doing, woman? Was that a cry for help? Were you on drugs? I need to know. I need to know. Anyways, Are you
I
having a domestic dispute over there?
yes, a little bit. I think that the dance moves should have been the top of the rap sheet. That was a crime.
Yeah. Yeah, the judge should have been like, okay, here clearly you're under the influence of something, miss. I don't know what is wrong with you, but take her away. I don't need to see anything else. But Your Honor, my toxicology report is clean. Yeah, right. I don't need to take her away. Yeah, that's enough for me to see that clearly something was wrong. But I have to say, she is in a nice little bit of a comeback tour right now, making movies and stuff. I just saw this rom com with her, uh, with the guy
On
from
Netflix,
yes, with Pretty Little Liars guy.
she looks
What?
good.
Yeah, yeah, she does. New movie, Our Little Secret is what it's called. Uh, and a couple 2 years ago, she had another one called Falling for Christmas, and apparently also this year she did another one called Irish Wish, which I don't know. And next year you got Freakier Friday coming back with her and what's her name? Jennifer Love. No, God damn it, what am I blanking her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Lee Curtis. Yes. Uh,
She has a penis,
so
you know.
no.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, she's back, so good for her. And that Our Little Secret movie was pretty good. It was, a little rom com, but if you with your significant other got nothing to do, or in Simo's case in high school, him and his grandma, if you're like them, it's a fun little movie to kick back and enjoy during the holidays. So check it out. And she's not even paying us to sponsor it, but it was a nice little movie. So
Well, good.
Lindsay, that's my apology to you for your dance moves. We promote your movie for free to 69 countries. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Simo. Anyways, what you got next, Mr. Mao?
Well, once upon a time, I thought I was being a good Samaritan, and I called 911 um, on behalf of my neighbor who I thought was getting the shit beat out of her. Turns out the police officers came and they interrupted a water birth. Now, I
No.
in my mind, I was like, "Oh my god, someone's taking advantage of this sweet pregnant lady." But no, she was just in like a baby pool in her living room, like having a water birth, and I feel bad about that because I feel like that's the moment that she probably took. Maybe they took a video of it and they had to like cut, and like handle the cops and like what I mean, and then get back to like filming. I don't know, but I feel like that's a very like intimate, private moment, and I ruined it maybe, and I would
Maybe.
hope. Well,
That's
you
not
know what?
maybe.
Sometimes I'm like, well, why didn't she let me know? Like, if I have a party, I tell my neighbors, like, hey, I'm having a party. Like, if it gets too loud, just text me and let me know. But wouldn't you like let your neighbor know, like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm
different
squeezing
warn.
a watermelon out of my tiny cooch. So if you hear me screaming, that's probably why.
However, can you imagine if you're like midway through the biggest shit of your life and you're like squeezing this turd out, you're fighting for your life, and it finally starts breaching and it's like halfway out and you're like, oh my god, I'm finally doing it, I'm doing it, and all of a sudden you get up, and you just suck it right back in.
Oh no.
How would you feel?
I
How
would
would you
feel
feel?
like you should have been a slut in the first place. Keep your legs closed, you dirty whore. No, I think that I do feel bad about that. I know that she felt held a grudge because around the holidays, um, she made it like a Christmas basket for all the neighbors and put it on their doorstep, and she skipped mine.
No.
And also,
Oh my
part of me is mad at
god.
the cops, is I'm like, what part of I want to be anonymous did you not understand?
That is but then again, who the fuck else would have called?
I don't know.
She probably spoke to the person to the left of her, and you were like to the right. It's like, well, if it wasn't this person, who the fuck else, So it's kind of easy to figure that out.
Womp womp. But
Oof.
anyway, I think her name was Karen. Karen, if you're listening, I'm sure you are. Sorry about it. Her kid looked really weird.
Charged with domestic violence because of SEMO.
Her kid looked really weird. And
No, it's because they were holding the head when you knocked on the door. When the cops kicked down the door.
you know,
Freeze!
not all babies are cute. Maybe she like clenched and her baby came out like soft serve ice cream instead of like,
That's
you
why.
know,
It came out like a football. Oh, because of you.
yeah.
You know how cops are. They probably heard screaming and kicked the shit out of that door.
Remember that show called Hey Arnold and he had a football shaped head?
Yep. Yep.
Now you know that tore his mama's coochie up
Oh,
hardcore.
absolutely. That's why they never showed her.
She was ruined, damaged goods.
Only whiskey could get her through that. Oh man. Well, water birth lady, I wish you and your odd shaped baby lots of health in the future. And I'm sorry on Simo's behalf. But up next, I would like to keep moving to another baby that I think might have been deformed. But he sure made the best of it. And it's Sylvester Stallone. And I would like to specifically apologize for making fun of his mom's looks, saying saying that she looked like someone who was going to warn you that Voldemort was coming, and for saying that her voice sounds like someone who started smoking at the age of 3, like Sylvester, come here. However, to be fair, I've read that Sylvester Stallone's mom wasn't the best to him. It's still not cool to rip on moms, and for that I'm sorry. However, she does sound like a terrible fucking person. Like, for example, she purposely missed her son receiving his Oscar for totally petty reasons. And here's a super short clip of him talking about it himself.
Adrian!
Days of my life.
Why?
When it came out. I think it's one of the saddest days of my life.
Why?
When it came out. Because a year before I was destitute. I had nothing. I was broke. And it came out. And a miracle happened. And I'm with some of the best films in Hollywood. I'm like, God, I'm in the same category as Best Picture. And these guys are great writers and great Scorsese, just great people. Mm-hmm. And they gave me a front row seat. And I invited my mother. She goes, you want me to go with you? I go, up for an Oscar. Yesterday, I was a bum a year ago. She goes, all right, but you have to invite Vivian. I go, who's Vivian? She goes, my hairdresser. I don't have a seat for your hairdresser. It's you and me, front row at the Oscars. She goes, if you don't invite Vivian, I'm not coming. Well, she didn't go.
So you just went alone.
Mm-hmm.
What a bitch, right?
Well, he didn't actually win the Oscar. He was nominated 3 times. He was nominated.
His screenplay run. Rocky won an Oscar.
No, he I think he was nominated for Best Actor. He was nominated for Supporting Actor in Creed. But I don't think he ever won the Oscar. And so maybe his mom jinxed him. Maybe it's her fault.
No, hold on. Yeah, it did. Here, Academy Awards USA 1977 winner, Oscar Best Picture, Rocky. Not him as an actor, but he wrote Rocky, so it was his movie. Rocky won an Oscar. He didn't win the Oscar. He was nominated that same year. But the movie itself won Best Picture.
Oh, but does he get that Oscar? Or does it go to
he gets it because I mean he wrote that movie. It's like he wrote it, sold it, produced it. Like it was like it's a whole thing. Long story short, he wrote the movie, and then when he shops it around, studios wanted to buy the movie, but just give him a cut and not have him be the actor or have anything to do with it. And he basically fought for it long enough where it was a package deal. It's like, I'm Rocky, so you can help me fund the movie, but I'm gonna be in it. And eventually, he found someone that did. But yeah, it was his baby. He wrote it. He did the whole thing. He eventually ended up directing them too.
Here's a
It's pretty
fun
cool.
fact about him. It says here that Sylvester, what's his middle name? Gardenzio?
Wow, very Italian.
Yikes. Ooh. Stallone is one of only 2 actors in history, alongside Harrison Ford, to have starred in a box office #1 film across 6 consecutive decades. That's crazy.
Good for him. Good for you, Rocky. Good for you.
Wasn't he married to that girl, Brigitte Nielsen?
Yes, he was from Rocky 4. Pretty crazy.
She's a lunatic.
Yeah, before she ended up with Flavor Flav.
Exactly. She called him
That was definitely
Floofy.
the cry for help. Because
Oof.
Flavor Flav looks pretty normal these days, but I have not heard of her since. Oof. But anyways,
Well, my next one, Savannah Crisley from Crisley Knows Best. Is that the show?
yes, that's right.
Savannah Crisley was a keynote speaker at the RNC, and I believe I called you a stupid bitch. I apologize for that because I don't know how educated you are. You may not be stupid.
Totally.
I know that you have a very successful acting career, having cameoed in big budget projects like Sharknado 4. Congratulations. I don't think you're a stupid bitch. I don't know. But I do think that you are disconnected from reality. You are the epitome of um, privilege. And I think that you had misplaced anger for your mom and dad's arrest. They were arrested not because of liberals. They were arrested because they're shit people. And you're probably a shit person too by association. But you may not be a stupid bitch. I just don't like you. So there's my
Totally. And I get
apology.
supporting your parents, if things happen. They're your parents. You got their back. That's very admirable. But you can't go blaming the liberals for your parents' tax evasion crimes. You can't inflate and deflate your value to get loans, lady. That's illegal. So it's like, come on. It's called accountability, and it doesn't look good on you when you can be famous and take everything that life has to give to you, but at the same time, when you do something wrong, you can't even take the slightest bit of accountability for it. I would be like, yo, my parents fucked up. Pay your taxes, people. Be smart. Or if you want to be an asshole about it, my parents were dumb. Get a better lawyer. Get a better accountant who'll hide your shit offshore. I don't know. That can be your message to kids if you want, but be accountable either way. At least it'll make me like you more.
She always just looks like a Beetlejuice character to me.
Totally. Like she'd be like from the family that comes to dinner.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I have to say, I I don't want to end up apologizing to her too, but I can see why you'd feel the way you did about her. Let's just leave it at that. But up next, I'm gonna go ahead and team up 2 people into one apology here, because it's my co-host over here, Simo, and his mom.
Oh,
Simo's
yeah?
mom. That's right, Mr. Mom. That's right. And particularly to the one and only Mama Mo, because we're talking about a little story.
She's gonna
It's
be so
another year
mad.
of the pod and another year of sharing her poo-poo in a McDonald's bag story. And I know that story has hit the airwaves to 69 countries for thousands and thousands and thousands of downloads. But God damn it, it's still funny to me, damn it. So, so I'm so sorry for laughing at your misfortunes. In fact, I shared earlier on this season how I myself had a very unfortunate little incident that led to a little shart that was very hard to clean off. So I
Happens to the best of us.
That's right. I have a lot of respect for you for having to endure that, especially in a moving vehicle on vacation on a hot summer day and with your entire family in the car. I can't imagine what you dealt with. And for that I salute you. And now
A nice anal salute.
that's right. Hold on, let me anal salute. There you go. To Simo, of course. I didn't mean to make fun of you for being old, or your Botox use, or your reading abilities, or your dyslexia. And let's not even mention the horrible things I say about you off air in my burner account on Reddit. So for that, I'm sorry. Hopefully the hate mail will, stop once I deactivate my burner account in 6 to 8 weeks.
You know what might make you feel better? To have a nice framed photo of one of my old modeling shots on the wall at your apartment.
Oh
I can make it
God.
happen.
Oh God. I'm trying to get through this image and it's not going well. I've seen those pictures too. Hold on, I'm having throat difficulties, as they say in the porn game.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Now, speaking of my mom's poop in the bag, um, so she did poop in a McDonald's bag as we went to McDonald's, and her stomach couldn't handle it. Now, they do have some pretty greasy hash browns. The hash browns are delicious, but they're greasy. What would have happened if she went back to the drive-through and gave them the bag back and was like, "I need
No.
to exchange this"? How would you react if someone came in the drive-through and was like, "I'm sorry, but there's some problem with my order. I just gave it back to you." What would you do?
Oh my! I think I fling it back at him. At that point, if I'm holding the
Me
bag of
too.
shit, so I'm trying to like chase it after them, and I'm fucking yeet, and I'm running the risk of it splashing on me. But I'm not taking that. I'm literally not taking that shit. Fuck that.
Uh-uh.
Can you imagine? Ugh. There's actually a really funny prank online that I see parents do to their kids. Where they ask them for like toilet paper. When the kid shows up, they like have like fake poop on their fingers and they rub it on them.
I love that.
They're like, "Oh, I'm
Jimmy
sorry,"
Kimmel
and
started
you see
that.
the kids like staring at their hands, like, "What the fuck?"
I love that.
Oh my god, you have to be a real monster to do that to your kid, but that is hilarious, and I'm here for it.
You know what? A long time ago, when I worked at Cohen's Fashion Optical, I hated that job. I remember for everyone in corporate, I made chocolate fudge and I put it in little green baggies like you would like go to walk your dog with, you know?
Oh god.
So I like molded the fudge so it looked like poop and I put it on a little green bag of like what looks like poop on everyone's desk. And so many people complained.
No, of
It
course.
was really good fudge. I mean, I made great fudge. But they were like, "Ew, you're sick." I'm like, "It's funny. It's funny. Just eat
And what
it."
nuts in it?
Like, do you want it with or without corn? How do you prefer?
Oh god, that's terrible. That's terrible. Anyways, I think is it my turn or yours? I think it's yours, right?
Mine, it's my
Yeah.
last one.
Yeah, we each down to one more.
Well, this is kind of a blanket apology across the board to all of the bartenders and Uber drivers who have babysat me throughout this year. I'm talking about bartenders who've been like Chris, where's your headphones? Like, no, you've already paid. Um, Chris, like, do you want water? Do you want me to call someone to come get you? And I'm like, no, 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 I'll have another beer. Or like, last night my Uber driver was shaking me like, you're here, wake up, get out of my car. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. But it's kind of a regular occurrence for me. I've actually thought about doing sober January, but then another part of me is like, better not.
It's called alcoholism.
Yeah, just give up drinking.
And then the other part of me is chug that bottle of vodka or else.
Yeah. So anyway, all those, industry workers and Uber drivers who have ensured my safety, thank you. And
That's very sweet.
And I appreciate you, and I will continue to give you my business because I'm an alcoholic.
And drinking and driving is never cool. Anyways, that is a good one, Mr. Mo. I agree. I have seen. I don't know why the double womp went off, but I have seen personally. Okay, what is happening?
I don't know. What's all the wows for me? Okay, I get it. I drink a lot. I get it.
How doesn't he hit me? Oh God, I think that was a message from Jesus.
Who?
From
Just kidding.
Jesus.
Never
He
heard
needs
of him.
he needs to stop fucking with my computer unless he's gonna give me a new warranty. Got it, Jesus. But yes, I have seen bartenders be very nice to Simo. So and he gets weird. So good for you guys. But anyways, on for my last one. I would like to apologize to the previously unknown person until this year, Janelle Grant, who is now famous for reasons that I'm sure she'd rather not be famous for. She's the one currently suing former WWE owner Vince McMahon for a myriad of sex crimes, including getting shat on her head during a threesome. That's right. And here's the thing. Not only did she get shat on, but she was forced, apparently, according to the complaint, to continue giving oral sex to the other guy within the threesome while she had Vince McMahon's poop still on her head, which is just fucking awful.
Can you imagine coming home and like your partner or whomever being like, "How was work today, honey?" And you're like, well, not
like,
great."
I was told you had to eat a lot of shit sandwiches to get to filet mignon in the corporate world, but I didn't think they would be literal. Let me just tell you. Well, I am sorry for laughing at your expense, Janelle, for getting shat on during said threesome, because it's technically very talented that you were able to get pooped on and manage to continue performing with the other person in it. Like I'm sure I couldn't do it if it was me. Like I'd be horrified. Fucking run out of there screaming. I'd at least fling my hair like a dog so the shit goes everywhere. You know what I mean? There would be some hell to pay. If someone took a shit on my head while I was in the middle of a threesome. Fuck that. That's a breakage of trust.
I don't know if I could shit on someone's head. Even if I got paid a lot of money, I don't think that I could physically, like, shitting's such a private thing. Like, I don't even think I could,
Totally.
I have trouble peeing in public. Like, I don't think I could shit on someone's head.
I'd
If
just
someone
be
said
ashamed
shit on
just
my
for the
head, I'd be like,
smell.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like I just I'd be like self-conscious about how bad it would smell. Like I don't think you really want that. Let me tell you. And however, it totally does track because Vince McMahon has a history when he was in control having like some like weird, humiliating storylines. And one of them, it was with this wrestler that got handcuffed and then they threw like chili on him. But the chili looked like shit. And it just was like such a weird visual that now thinking of the pooping on the head, I'm like, oh, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. But anyways, back to the subject at hand, Janelle. No
You
one
should
should
have asked for a raise.
That's right. Well, that's the thing. Supposedly she did. Supposedly that was what she was getting employed by WWE to basically be Vince McMahon's like sex secretary, which is so weird. Just so weird. We read through some of the complaint on the show. Check it out in the archives from earlier this season. But bottom line is, no one should be in a relationship where they get shit on unless you're into that sort of thing. And there's usually a safe word in place. And if the allegations are true, I hope Vince gets everything that's coming to him but you can't have a story that combines Vince McMahon, wrestling, sex, and Dookie and expect us not to laugh at it. That's all I'm saying in my defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're combining everything that we find funny and putting it all together, and we're going to laugh at it. With that being said, it is wrong to laugh at. And I'm sorry, Janelle Grant.
Do you think it was like a big hard turd just plop on her head, or do you think it was like soft serve?
From the reports, and this is sad that I know this from the court cases, sounds like it would be one of those like when we warned people not to have the Mexican food at the airport.
Yeah.
That type of shit. Like it's like,
Oh no.
like not even soft serve. It's like melted soft serve. Like, when you leave it out for a couple hours and they say, oh well, the machine, it's still mixing together. It's gonna be quite liquidy. It's not really ready. And they're like, fuck it, it's okay. I don't mind. Kind of like a milkshake. It'll be like it's like that. She
Ugh.
makes it seem like it was like all the way in there, like a leave-in
But
conditioner.
oh,
Where she
not the
was like
leave-in conditioner. Now,
conditioner. Conditioner.
now, if you were the guy getting the beach, wouldn't you be like, why the fuck would you do that? Like,
I
how am
know.
I gonna keep my dick hard when it smells like poop in here?
Well, I would never ever have a threesome with two dudes, but much more the second dude be Vince fucking McMahon, who's like 82 years old. That is fucking weird. But yes, the minute that someone takes a shit on the person that's giving me a BJ, we're fighting, dude. You
Yeah.
just ruined a perfectly good moment. What's wrong with you? And I'm so vulnerable there because you're there butt naked. Like, what do you even do? And the smell too, dude. Like, and who had to clean that up after? Because
Yeah.
Vince is rich. He's not cleaning it himself. You think he like?
Okay, so I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the call on the podcast before, but I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but I helped the designer Valentino one time, actually a few times, and he asked to use our bathroom, and he was in there for like a half hour. So I asked his assistant, I was like, "Do you want to go check on your friend?" He's like, "He's fine." I was like, "You don't know that. It's been a long time. It's been a half hour. It's been a half hour." Actually, what happened was I showed him where the bathroom was, and then I went on lunch break for a half hour. I came back and he was still in the bathroom, and I was like, "He's still in there." So then I was like, "I'm gonna go knock on the door." So I was like, "Hola, Valentino, how you doing?" And he comes out. His sport coat is off. His sleeves were rolled up, and he just looked like in sheer panic. He was like, "I tried my best to fix it." He was in the thick of it trying to fix me. This little man, this little orange man, had a major fucking dookie that wrecked our toilet so bad that we had to get a plumber to come out, and we couldn't use the bathroom for 2 days. We had to go to the Starbucks down the street.
Oh my god! I'm not gonna lie. When I was a kid, and it's funny because it was actually also at the eyeglass store that my dad used to get. My dad had glasses, and his friend, it was a couple that he was friends with that had an eyeglass store, so that's where he always went to get all his stuff. And I had explosive diarrhea. when I go flush the toilet,
Oh no.
it just starts coming out and out and out, and I like don't know what to do. So I come out and I just like shut the door and I pretend nothing happened. Like I'm like 7. You know what I mean? I have no idea how to be a convincing liar. And then all of a sudden, The guy's like, do I hear water running? He's like, let me go check. And I'm like, no, 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 no. He opens the door. He's like, oh my God. My dad, oh my God. I'm lucky that he didn't beat my ass because he was just like, I'm sure you're so embarrassed. You don't need to.
You know what?
But
Happens
it's
to the best of
awkward
us.
to have to go back
But
there.
my grandma, when she blew up my bathroom, I should apologize to her too. Hey, rest in peace, Grandma. Sorry I talked about you pooping in my bathroom. She exploded. We
That
didn't
was
paint the bathroom.
hilarious.
We had to repaint the bathroom twice. And
So-
even with the smell of paint, I was like, I can still smell shit.
so- they say her corpse lingers, her ghost lingers like the smell of her poop.
Ugh.
Anyways.
we ended up moving. We did.
The
Well,
next
well,
family,
now-
the next family boarded up the bathroom.
Yeah.
No one goes in there anymore.
Mhm. Yeah.
Satanas, Satanas. Anyways, oh man, that was our top 10 plus a little bonus one. Most things that we have to apologize about because, like I said, it takes a real man to say you're sorry, and we're all real here at the Frat Chat Podcast. Oh yeah, so let us know what you thought of our apologies. Let us know if there's something else that we should apologize for, and let us know if you have any apologies of your own. If you have anything interesting to say, we might air them out on the show and get you that gratification and the forgiveness of the public. So shoot us an email, fratchatpodcast@gmail.com, or give us a follow on all social channels at FratChat Podcast. That's on Instagram, that's on Facebook, that's on Twitter /X, that's on Threads, that's on YouTube. You can also give me a follow. Check out my website, carlosgarciacomedy.com, or give me a follow on all social channels at Carlos Does the World. That's on Instagram, that's on Facebook, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Carlos Does World on Twitter /X. And you can follow my buddy Seema over here at chris.moore.comedy. On Instagram and TikTok, and see more comedy on Twitter /X. Oh yeah. So tomorrow, this is our last episode for a few weeks. We're gonna be away. Don't forget to check out the best of edition coming out next week, possibly the following week. After that, go through the archives, tell a friend about the show, catch up on old episodes. We'll be back next season, even better, even funnier, and ready to kick some ass. So, Mr. Mo, why don't you get us out of here and say it like you mean it, big boy, because it's the last time for a while.
I motion to adjourn this meeting.
And I second. All right, you guys, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. So for now, enjoy, sit back and relax. It's the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts and time. It's the Frat Chat Podcast. See ya.
Bye.